Welcome back, studs. Welcome back to another episode of LEGO Look Back, where today we are taking a look at every single LEGO Star Wars set that came out in the year 2003. Now, because of the amount of sets in this year, I decided to split this video into two parts. So this is part one of every single LEGO Star Wars set that came out in the year 2003. Now, we're going to move on to a set of sets that LEGO released this year that are all known as mini building sets. These sets were just miniature models of vehicles within the Star Wars universe, and those who have played LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga may recognize these as the builds that you build when you collect the mini kits. To start off, we have set number 3219 Mini TIE Fighter. This set included 12 pieces, retailed for $6, and currently goes for about $7.50. This was a small TIE Fighter that came in a little poly bag, and it's just a very simple TIE Fighter build. No special prints or anything here, and just this is the first poly bag we got in the LEGO Star Wars Wave, and looks like a TIE Fighter. Not really much else to say there. Set number 4484, X-Wing Fighter and TIE Advanced. This set included 76 pieces, retailed for $4, and currently goes for about $28. These models both look really good. I find it really funny that the X-Wing model is white here, whereas the previous playset models of LEGO X-Wings have been gray. They use a good use of that 1x2 tile and a print on there to be able to create the kind of markings of the X-Wing. I think that the TIE Advanced also looks good. Still a little bit before that custom TIE Fighter canopy print that we get on that dish piece there on the front. And I think these sets look good. There's a picture in the back with Yoda showing kind of all of these mini builds that you can collect and build. Not maybe the most exciting thing, but for early LEGO Star Wars, some good stuff here. The next one of these was set number 4485, Sebulba's Pod Racer and Anakin's Pod Racer. This set had 72 pieces, retailed for $4, and this one only goes for about $13 US. These models, they once again look pretty good. You can tell it's Anakin's Pod Racer and Sebulba's Pod Racer, but because of the lack of any custom prints or any kind of exclusive things, that's why I think these are valued so low. These are pretty simple. You honestly could build them with parts that you may have in your own catalog. They use kind of a clear gun turret piece to be able to create the illusion of the engines on the front with the rider in the back of the cockpit. And so, good sets. You can tell that what they are, and I think they look okay together. Don't have any real complaints to say about this. The next one of these is set number 4486, the ATST and Snowspeeder. This set had 46 pieces, retailed for $4, and this one currently goes for about $21. Looking at these two sets, I first off have to say this is a way better looking ATST than the previous year's Playscale ATST. I know they have the big advantage of that printed flag piece, being able to create the face of the ATST. That's a big help, but it looks like a pretty good model. The Snowspeeder also looks very well. They use a small little tile piece there. Looks like a 1x1 tile on the front to be able to create a bit of a print, and I think these look good. They feel a little smaller than the previous ones. I don't know why, but it's the same. It's about the same piece count, but I think this one actually has some playability to it with kind of swooshing around the Snowspeeder, and the ATST does, in my opinion, look really, really good. And so, good things to say here. Next, we had set number 4487, the Jedi Starfighter and Slave One. This had 53 pieces, retailed for $4, and this one goes for about $27 today. Of these first four, I think this is the best looking of these mini building sets that we have. They used a 1x4 tile and a 1x2 tile printed to get some of that detail of Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, and I just think the Slave One here looks so good. Despite Jango Fett's Slave One being such a colorful model, they're able to really capture it very well in this. And I think of the four we've seen so far, this one's my personal favorite. And actually, I think it's the best one of these mini building sets overall. And just really good design. Once again, I think there's some playability here with the two different ships and your ability to swoop them around. One thing that each one of these sets had, they included a little piece and some instructions to be able to build another mini building set, which was a TIE Bomber. And so if you collected all four of these sets, you'd have all the pieces and the instructions necessary to be able to build this TIE Bomber, and you'd kind of have a fifth one of these mini building sets. That TIE Bomber uses some really cool printing on those 2x2 cylinders with Technicals to be able to create that image of the TIE Bomber. And so I think the TIE Bomber is also another one of the cool mini building sets that they had here. Continuing with these mini building sets, we had set number 4488, the Millennium Falcon. This set had 87 pieces, retailed for $7 US, and currently goes for about $50. With this Millennium Falcon, they upped the piece count a little bit. They also upped the price by $3. And looking at this, the model relies heavily on that print from that satellite dish piece there in the center to be able to create the kind of saucer shape of the Millennium Falcon. I do think this looks really cool. I don't know if I would say this is $7 worth of value. This to me feels more like $5. Maybe you could get away with $6. I think $4 was a good price for the previous 4 that we looked at, but $7 for this one just feels a little bit too expensive for me. The model does look really good, and you can tell it's the Millennium Falcon, although it does look pretty thin compared to something like the Lego Microfighters Millennium Falcons. This looks very thin when this is kind of the same idea of that sort of ship design. But it looks good. If you enjoyed collecting these, gotta get this one. The next one of these was set number 4489, the AT-AT. This one had 98 pieces, retailed for $7, and currently goes for about $38. Now, looking at this, let me just say, that is a face that only a mother could love. After killing it on the Playscale AT-AT, I think Lego dropped the ball on this AT-AT. Don't get me wrong, it's not terrible looking, but just that face, what am I looking at here? Like, this is an AT-AT. Like, this is what an AT-AT looks. See how dark, brooding, and menacing it's supposed to be? And then look at this. It's kind of like that one meme, you know, with the 3 dragon heads. And there's like the 2 serious ones and the ugly third one. That's what this AT-AT head feels like. The legs, while posable with kind of those Technic joints, just look weird. The feet don't look right. I don't know. Maybe I'm a hater, but I just do not love the look of this mini AT-AT. We've had much better, smaller AT-ATs. The AT-ST looks way better than this one to me. I guess it looks a little better if you throw it in some snow in the background. And the next one of these was set number 4490, Republic Gunship. This set had 102 pieces, retailed for $7 US, and currently goes for about $45. I'm going to take back my previous comment and say that this is actually the best looking of the mini building sets. To me, this actually looks like $7 worth of value. It just feels so much bigger than the Millennium Falcon and the AT-AT, and this looks like a gunship. Like, this feels like something you'd get in like the size of like a McDonald's toy, and so it feels like it's got kind of some weight to it, and it looks just like a gunship. They have nailed this design. Yeah, they could smooth it out a little bit, but I would love swooshing this thing around. Look how awesome this looks. They throw it in a picture over Gino, see us flying around with another gunship. Like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. So I really do like this gunship. I think it's the best of the mini building sets, and I think this would definitely be worth the $7. I mean, look, they even got the inclusion of the little bubble turrets on the side and on the wings, and very good. Perfection. Moving to the last one of these mini building sets, we have set number 4491, the MTT. This set had 99 pieces, retailed for $7, and currently goes for about $20. Whether this is a train or an MTT, I'm not exactly sure, but I can kind of tell it's an MTT. I think the inclusion of kind of the reddish orange or the orangish brown bricks throw this set off a little bit for me. I'm not saying it'll look better without them, but you can kind of tell it's an MTT. The little antenna pieces they use for the turrets, I don't feel like accurately represent what the turrets on the MTT look like. But this set also doesn't have any custom prints or unique things, and so once again, I feel like that's why it's rated pretty low. This one I feel like would be very simple to build with your own bricks back home, and is not really that exciting or unique of a model. But here it is, and it's an MTT. Unfortunately, it does not have any little battle droid somethings to go with it, but I guess it's going into battle by itself. Now, just like the previous group of 4, this group of 4 also included some extra pieces and some instructions to be able to build a Y-Wing mini building set. And I actually think that Y-Wing looks really good. It's got some hefty weight to it, kind of like the gunship. It looks like it's worth maybe $7. And so if you're an original trilogy fan and you really want that Y-Wing, you got to get all 4, and a great looking Y-Wing really captures the shape. I like the use of the white pieces, and it's just good looking Y-Wing. Now, one thing I wanted to throw in here was set number 4207901. I know, lots of numbers there, but this was the Star Wars mini bonus pack. This was kind of a collector's item that included just all 4 of those mini building sets that I talked about, all in one pack. Came out that same year, and this goes for about $80 to $100 US to collect all 4 in one pack. Now it is time to take a look at the tier list for these mini building sets. Coming in at the top, I had the Gunship, which I just spoke so highly about, and then the Jango Fett Slave one with that Obi-Wan Starfighter. In the middle, you can see sets like the X-Wing, the TIE Advance, Millennium Falcon, and the ATST. And then coming in at the bottom, I had that TIE Fighter polybag and the AT-AT, because once again, only a face that a mother could love. Those are my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. How would you rate these sets? Let me know in the comments below. Stay super studs. See you guys.